Yo, what is good, everybody? It's your boy, the Strongest Wizard, and today we have Nico's 7th place list from the regional this past weekend, and I am super excited to dive into this deck list. Let's go. Alright guys, so here we have Nico's deck list here. He's gonna kind of go through the whole entire deck, and then afterwards kind of go through his matchups. So, Nico, how you doing?
I'm doing well, just still kind of riding the topping high, haven't done that before.
Yeah, and it's crazy too because and you didn't have your invite right before this, right? You were kind of like you had to make sure that you were going to get it, and you got it. So congratulations on that, man.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, just wasn't really expecting it to switch to a regionals.
Yeah,
I was kind of just expecting a chill ulti cup. Just all right, win if I can. If not, oh well.
Yeah. I mean, you are on the DXN team, and man, you've been practicing green for a very long time. Like, you practice very consistently, so I'm not surprised that you got top 8, but I'm glad that you did. So, anyways, let's get into it. Let's see this deck list.
Yeah, let's start it off. All right. Well, since we are playing green, we do have to kind of run 5 eggs. So we have the 4 Argomon and the 1 Gummymon. Kind of self-explanatory with if you've seen like prior Bloomlord videos or deck lists. Argomon, since your whole board's suspended, your big stack's always gonna get you another memory on the start of your turn. And then Gummymon, for all the new pieces that I got in EX3, helps you just draw some cards and keep it consistent. Next, going to the level 3s, we have 4 of the Searcher Palmon. Just helps you get your consistency pieces and secures you a Bloomlord if you hit it. We have the new boy, honestly the MVP of this deck. Got the new Pomumon. This Pomumon, when you suspend a Digimon, or when you suspend this thing, you suspend something else, which helps with this Gummymon, helps you trigger a lot of effects.
Nice.
Next we have we play 3 of the other Pomumon that stops people from playing by effects. It came up a lot. I played, first match was Examon and straight up stopped him from doing that whole like checkmate combo that they usually do.
Yeah.
Then what else? It also came up a lot. It was prepped for the mirror, because it's very helpful in the mirror. People don't know how to play around it, but never came up. And then something a little different that I was helped and talked with other people about, playing 3 of this Palmon. This is the starter deck Palmon. That lets you get plus 2,000 when you attack a Digimon. So why this comes up is that you're consistently getting to 14k with Bloomlord because of Agitar.
Right.
And with this, when you're swinging into things, making sure you're 16 with only the 2 Digimon, rather than making it a wide board going for 4 Digimon to get to 16, really helps. Really helps in the Wargrave matchup, which is horrendous for this deck. And yeah, that's the level 3s. Next, for the level 4s, we have pretty standard, just 4 Red Veggie, 4 Sunflow, and 3 Weed. I've kind of been testing these ratios a lot. This was definitely the one part I was messing around with the most when building and testing the deck. I was kind of talking with another person saying, oh, play the 4th Weed, it definitely comes up, helps with consistency, but I never ran into that issue. I've always happened to see at least one of these, 1 or 2 of them a game, and then when you see the Weedmon in your opening hand, it's just a nice thing to have. And they're all vegetation, so they're all searchable from this Palmon, and yeah.
Yeah, it seems like everyone's ratios are very different, just based on like their play style and yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And this deck definitely shows. I know it's very like contained within itself because there's only a limited number of these vegetations that you can run, but definitely shows I don't say the skill expression, but definitely shows that it's a high floor to enter to play this deck. It's not as easy as I feel like people leave it out to be. But yeah, next we have level 5s. We have 2 Cherrymon, 3 Blossomon, and the MVP, the 4 Agitar. So Cherrymon is very fun, like defensive option. This lets you redirect to other suspended Digimon. Then we have 3 Blossomon. Originally it was the Argomon from BT2, but since I changed up my rookie count to have no Terriermons, that card was not really as useful, and it also wasn't searchable with the Palmon, which is why I kind of switched it out for this one.
Right.
And then, yeah, for Agitar, this is like your main combo starter. Once you finally promote a Digimon, going in to promote this thing, you're just kind of starting everything off. Lets you, when you suspend one of your green Digimon, you play a plant with 3k or less, and yeah, your main target for that is typically this Palmon, or this Pomomon and this Palmon, just to either further your aggression or further search for stuff. But most of the time in this regionals, I was actually dropping a lot of the Weedmons, just because, like, I've noticed, like, a lot of things vary with level, and want to kill the same level, especially, like, Metal Garurumon does, the X Antibody does the highest or lowest level. So just mixing up the levels was definitely something I tried doing a lot, just to prevent that. And time for the good stuff, I'd like to say. So we got standard 4 Bloomlord, got the 3 Hydramon. This is like standard for this deck. Just this guy just lets you go super offensive. And both of these just gain you so much memory and so much aggression in their own ways. This one lets you clear the board. This one just lets you swing for a bunch of checks if you have a wide enough board. And yeah, so one thing I did tech in after some going back and forth is the one Shivamon.
The spice.
This has honestly been my favorite green card that has been made. I know Strongest Wizard here definitely knows all about it. Playing it a bunch of times at locals.
I hate that card.
But yeah, I think it came up a good amount actually. Helped against the Metal Garurumon matchup, it helped against what matchup? I think it was Blue Flare. They just couldn't play any options since my whole board wants to be suspended anyway. Just no options for your opponent, and when he unsuspends, just trashing all the security. Yeah.
Shiva, she's bad.
You know it. And then yeah, we have the one Death X. As previously stated, I was talking to a friend just prior to the event, saying, "Oh, we should playing the 4 Weedmon." Personally, I didn't feel like a 4th one was needed, and then I put in the one Death X because it's the spice every deck can use. So
yeah, and did you find it useful in your matchups?
Not really.
Okay.
It came up a lot. Genuinely, there was many opportunities for it to come up, but there was with those same opportunities, a Hydra play just looked a lot better, or just going for a clearing board with a Bloomlord with the aggression swing felt a lot better. And boards were never really wide enough for Death X to go and do his thing. Really, he was kind of just there as a clutch security bomb. I know in my first game, someone had a very weak Examon stack, and he swung into it, and it hit the Death X first check, and I was like, kind of just swung the game in my favor. So, but definitely considering taking this guy out, and definitely going for a Chimeramon. This is definitely the flex spot for that, just because you do play a lot of level 4s down off the Agitar as well as the level 3s, so having another way to just sneak minus 2k on the whole board and then swing over things is also very nice.
Nice.
And then we have the 2 Mimi. She's Mimi. She's been the same since BT1. Probably the best green tamer, and I don't think they can ever make a tamer as good as her without it being completely broken. Just because you can always you're always able to set up for next turn as long as you have that level 5. And with this deck, you're always sitting on either level 5 or level 6. So it's really easy to just have something ready to go. And for the options, we have 1 HPD because it is the most broken card in the game right now, other than like Cool Boy. Just reducing cost by 5 and being able to spend a Digimon really just speeds up this deck in particular because it turns one or 2 memory gain into like a 5 memory gain off Bloom Lord or for Hydra.
It's so insane the turns you can have with Bloom in that card.
Yeah, this card, as well as I'd say the next cards, the memory boost, definitely lets you speed up and make the crazy boards that everyone's been like fearful of in coming into this format. Just because you're able to gain so much memory, because I feel like memory blockers aren't as prevalent. And now since you have the Hydramon, and the Pomumon, you have such an easier way to get rid of them. So being able to not gain memory isn't as big of an issue. And yeah. And just in case you don't see the Pomumon, I do play the one of Samadhi Santi. Just helps stun a Digimon or a Tamer. That effect has definitely come up more hitting like a Cool Boy, making sure to slow down like a Melga or a Wargreave player. Make sure they don't get that extra memory that turn.
Right. Well, okay. Well, let's go ahead and talk about the matchups. I know it was 8 rounds, right?
Yeah.
8 rounds. Okay. Do you? I'm not sure if you remember them too much, but I know it was a long day, so.
It was, but after that, definitely a memorable day, so
yeah.
Very hard to forget.
True.
So round 1 was against Examon. Basically, like I stated with the Death X situation, he kind of just thought he had game. He swung first check with his Examon, hit Death X, and kind of just went downhill. I think I got it 2-1. Then I played against an Armor Rush, which has been a very fearful deck in my eyes, just because I've lost to it so many times in like bigger tournaments. Got that 2-1 just because of Hydramon. Being able to bot deck the
disgusting.
Just bot deck Magnamon X. Just completely negate that whole effect. Just made it super easy and definitely helped me just keep all the armors away from his trash, since his Magnamons aren't as strong. Then round 3 was the only one I lost. That was against the Melga. And I was kicking myself in the butt the whole time afterwards, because I knew the one mistake I made was trying to go in Bloom Lord earlier than I should have, and not realizing that the battle protection was there because he was stacking. Not gonna lie, because online tournaments you can't really just
it's a little
check.
Difficult,
So it's like it was stacked a little weird, so I didn't see that he had the protection on it. And just kind of threw it away there. Round 4 was another Melga. Just kind of bounced back from that first loss and just straight up set up Shivamon turn 1, or in game 1, found Shiva in like the 3rd or 4th draw, set him up, opponent couldn't do anything. Then game 1 I opened it, he put me to 4 with a Davis. I went Red Veggie, Blossom into Shiva, turn 1.
Jesus.
So you
nasty.
could probably pick up how that went.
He
showed me his hand afterwards. He had all his memory boosts, all his X antibody off.
Just slowing the deck down so bad.
Yeah, he had the whole shebang there, so it was just Then round 5 was Shout. And like Shoutmon cross, and a little scary, but kind of ran out of gas in the first game really fast after just hitting into Shiva insecurity and losing the big stack. And then second game I kind of just built 2 Hydras and sat on those. Round 6 I believe was another Melga, same thing as most of the games. I definitely just learned from this tournament kind of a sequencing of how you want to play these level 6s. It's typically just Hydra first, control the board unless you have an aggressive like your aggressive options like viable. Then you go into the Bloom Lord, but typically it's just going Hydra first, controlling the board. That definitely how I won that one. Round 7 was Blue Flare. Felt bad for the guy because he just kept giving me a bunch of memory because of that memory boost.
Yeah.
He put me to 5 turn 1, set up my full board. Then that next turn I went double Hydra, double Bloom, and won the game.
Wow. That's kind of crazy. You ended up going into a Blue Flare so late in the rounds though.
Yeah, that was surprising. I was surprised with the Shoutmon as well.
Yeah.
Round 5 with that thing.
Yeah.
And then round 6 was the dreaded matchup I was scared of the entire day, that Black War matchup. So he got it game 1 just because I was kind of bricking, didn't have my level 4s. Then game 2, just kind of like calmed down, tried to recollect my thoughts, then just kind of hit him on the crackback with the Bloom Lord, and then from there just kind of secured it. And then game 3, he kind of bricked. He tried getting himself out of it, leaving a Metal Greymon, giving me 4 on board. Just went straight Agitar into Bloom Lord, cleared that thing, and yeah.
Wow, and that's crazy. You faced your scariest matchup at the very end.
Yeah.
Dang, that's crazy. And how do you feel about the deck now? Are you going to continue to play with it? I know in BT 11 we get a way better Black War Gray. Do you feel like you're gonna continue to commit time with Bloom, or do you feel like you might venture into something else?
I definitely feel like I'm gonna keep Bloom. Bloom is definitely something I was very much anticipating coming out, and once it finally did, I kind of couldn't put it down.
Yeah.
Like even in like the start of BT10, making very many iterations with it, just even though it wasn't the best,
right,
but still helped out. But once EX3 came, it's kind of hard to put it down now. Like,
yeah,
I know you know me personally, I've been playing a lot of Grandis.
Yeah.
And personally, I know that deck it's time to shine next set as well in 11, but this gets some extra pieces, and I'm excited to play this one as well.
Yeah, I mean, you've had a ton of iterations of this deck. I remember, you've had some ups and downs with this deck for sure, but you definitely stuck it through and got you your Nats invite and a top 8, so congrats again, man. It's awesome to see you put DXN on the map. Yeah, thanks, Nico. Thank you for this. And do you have any shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, of course. Obviously, shout out to DXN Provisions in Arcadia. Made locals since like early on in the game's lifetime, probably like just a couple months in, found this place and haven't stopped coming back. Yeah. Definitely shout out to them. Shout out to the team. Sos, I know you're our captain, my captain. Just everyone else in the team, just helping out. Definitely a lot of playtesting.
Yep. Well. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that's going to be it for me today. Thank you again to Nico for that amazing deck list and that crazy performance. And stay tuned because I have a ton of new Digimon content coming out soon. See ya!